but I be getting gills. I ain't like you other rappers, I be spitting real. I ain't nothing like the ops, cause they be getting killed. But then I clip the chop and they be getting peeled. Ain't nothing like you other niggas, I be in the field. I be always in that field, I got my little bro in them trenches. Every day I'm off the pills, I can't stop cause I'm addicted. Niggas might as well just kill themselves if they against us. Cause I'm saying 6'2" is a turn nigga to a victim. Drugs catch the bodies, got my niggas locked in prison. I've been seeing Kane get cooked since I was an infant. Ever since I bought my first bag, but in the business. I should do a welcome to my hood, this shit relentless. Knock your teeth out, they gotta send you to the dentist. Bitch, I really trap rap, and I don't do it for an image. I was just hyped to go to school with drugs and get suspended. I sold the bitch to crack, you gotta put it in your kitty. I put Hannah on Montana, we got Molly through the city. And every time I catch a play, I'm in a Mozzie or a Bentley. If I ever catch a case, it was a homie or attempted to. You a dumb nigga, get the run and call it Whitney. I'm on out on this block selling meth and I'm a Tiffany. I pray that murder fall on all the ones who go against me. I got them killer checks ops, they get busy. I shot that nigga in his back, they call him Ricky. I get bands a lot, nigga, you know that. I wanna smoke some dead ops right now. I'm finna sell that bitch to dog food, she stay a mile away. I've been in the kitchen with them keys like I'm Dr. Dre. Lil' Bubba running through them beans, he make it die a day. Guarantee the ops shit they pants what I'm about to say. Yeah, they got a bag on my mama every time we kill a op, we don't brag on it. You caught that nigga walking out the stove, that was his last moment. They don't need to know, killed that boy, he had a mask on him. Bitch, we be in the trenches with the blicks. That Nina kinda freaky, shot his face, gave him a kiss. Can't build a house, she be playing with the bricks. And his wife, he is a medic, she be playing with the scripts. Run inside a nigga crib up that bitch, we need it all now. I remember I was sitting on the bench, I got the ball now. We hunting when we run into the ops, he make it fall down. I just paint the oppers red noses, cause they all clown. I got one hand on that blick, I got one hand on that steering wheel. So the oppers come and say stay luck, your tongue spin a wheel. I just beat the oppers half to death, look like Emmett Till. I ain't never dove into the ocean, but I be getting gills. I ain't like you other rappers, I be spitting real. I ain't nothing like the ops, cause they be getting killed. But then I clip the chop and they be getting peeled. Ain't nothing like you other niggas, I be in the field. I be always in that field, I got my little bro in them trenches. Every day I'm off the pills, I can't stop cause I'm addicted. Niggas might as well just kill themselves if they against us. Cause I'm saying 6'2" is a turn nigga to a victim. Drugs catch the bodies, got my niggas locked in prison. I've been seeing Kane get cooked since I was an infant. Ever since I bought my first bag, but in the business. I should do a welcome to my hood, this shit relentless. Knock your teeth out, they gotta send you to the dentist. Bitch, I really trap rap, and I don't do it for an image. I was just hyped to go to school with drugs and get suspended. I sold the bitch to crack, you gotta put it in your kitty. I put Hannah on Montana, we got Molly through the city. And every time I catch a play, I'm in a Mozzie or a Bentley. If I ever catch a case, it was a homie or attempted to. You a dumb nigga, get the run and call it Whitney. I'm on out on this block selling meth and I'm a Tiffany. I pray that murder fall on all the ones who go against me. I got them killer checks ops, they get busy. I shot that nigga in his back, they call him Ricky.
Oh man. What a beautiful day in sports, man. Man. The New York Knicks versus the Spurs, gang. What the fuck? Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would have never thought that. I would have never thought that. See, my problem is I'm a Sixers fan. I've been trusting the process since high school, right? Unbeknownst to me, the Knicks have been doing a thing in the East. You can be a fan so bad that a lot of the times you get beside yourself and you don't pay attention to what's happening around you, right? So I'm paying attention to the Knicks, but I'm just like, I mean, Philly on the roll. Like, we gonna be all right. In my mind, I'm thinking the only team that's stopping us from being great is the fucking Celtics. So I'm so hyper focused on the Celtics, right? We beat the Celtics. We beat them in a game 7 when we was at their crib, right? So I'm hype as shit, negating everything that's going on around me, not paying attention, not being locked in for real, right? The Knicks. The Knicks in the East putting belt to ass. So I'm thinking to myself, bro, Joel back, Paul George back, Maxey. See, I was talking in my group chat, right? And one of the biggest problems I had going into that Knicks series was, bro, I'm not going to lie to you, the point guard position. Maxey is very tough. But one thing I kept mentioning to my homeboys, I kept telling them, bro, Jalen Brunson's something different. Jalen Brunson is something different, bro. And mind you, I didn't watch that Villanova run. I watched both Villanova runs. When I think Omari Spellman, was it him that hit that game-winning 3 to give Villanova that championship that one year? You had a young Brunson, you had a young Dante DiVincenzo, and you had a seasoned Josh Hart on that Villanova team. So I'm a Villanova fan. So watching them in college, you know, doing their thing, and then doubling back after they won a championship, I think maybe 2 years later, that Villanova Wildcat team, you know, they brought back their young guys who are now seasoned guys on that team, and they win a chip. Okay, cool. The boys end up transitioning into the NBA. Immediately started making a difference wherever they landed at, right? Here's one thing I noticed out of all of them. Whatever team Dante go to, he makes an impact. You know what I'm saying? 6'4", maybe? 6'4". I think he can be 3-and-D. Shooter. Defends his position, I guess. We could say that. Mikal Bridges. Solid. Wherever he goes, solid. Josh Hart. He hit the NBA before them young boys, so Josh Hart was already like, I want to say 3-and-D. Yeah, definitely 3-and-D. He plays the wing. So, you know, he contributed to wherever he landed. Jalen Brunson, though. Jalen Brunson was the one guy that I kind of hyper-focused on out of that group of ball players that came out of Villanova game. Because there's something, he got a specific, like there's a certain will that Cubs play with that not everybody got that will. The only person I could say kind of match Jalen Brunson's will, Wemby. Now, I'm not talking about players being competitive, because everybody in the league is competitive. Well, not everybody, but everybody has that competitive mindset. So I'm not talking about, you know, the competitive nature of the basketball player. I'm talking about they got a specific will inside of them. Then I started like seeing videos pop up out of nowhere of when Brunson was like a young kid and his dad was training him. His dad was tough on him. Very tough on him. Brunson had a very good high school career, had a very good college career, and now he's headed to the NBA Finals. That type of formula, gang, like it's not a coincidence why he's heading to the NBA Finals, gang. Like, it's no coincidence. Brunson's the type of person that you look at and say, oh, he's been a winner at all levels. That man, one of my homeboys, when we was talking about the point guard position, he mentioned how Brunson doesn't pass the ball. No, he'll score first guard. He doesn't pass the ball. I was like, bro, I think you got it confused, bro. It's a difference between somebody that doesn't pass the ball and a point guard that says, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure we get a comfortable lead and make the right play. And I'm going to put pressure on his rim. There's a big difference because I done seen Brunson passing. He's very capable of passing the basketball. But he's a point guard that's going to make sure he puts his team in the best position possible. He play like he's hungry every game, bro. Like, Brunson is a different guy. That's the one person where in the Sixers series, I just was like, ugh. Maxi's tough. Maxi is tough. I would never even try to play like Maxi, not one of them. But I did worry. I was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If we going to be able to just act like Brunson not on the other side of the ball. Like, he not on the other team. But what I said earlier, the only person that has that type of will to make sure they win on that other side with the Spurs, Wemby. Y'all seen it. I had the Thunder. I had Shea Gillis, baby Kobe. I had them going back to the finals. Real rap. I had the Thunder going back to the finals, gang. Wemby said, not on my watch. Wemby wasn't feeling that. That man said, listen, bro, I don't know what y'all came to do. And I know we in y'all house, but it ain't going on. It ain't happening how y'all think it's going to happen. And I'm not going to lie to you. As of late, because, like, I get too into the games, I haven't been tuning into the games live. I always hear about the games, and then, you know, I catch, like, the highlights later on and things like that. Because the majority of what I've been thinking so far is came into fruition. The games and the series I've been calling, like, okay, they're going to get the series. Even if it goes game 7, they're going to get the series. It's kind of been pretty on point. So that's kind of boring for me to even watch a series when I know what's going to be outcome. But in my group chat, I told niggas it's going to be the Cavs versus OKC in the finals. James Harden. Let's talk about it. Bro, I did a live a couple weeks ago talking about how it's a new NBA. And when I did that live, I was talking about Shea Gillis and Oklahoma City Thunder and how they got the ball now. And it's time. James Harden, it's time to retire that old NBA. Send James Harden somewhere where he can live out the rest of his NBA career. And I know that sounds like some hating shit to say, but you can't tell me the Cleveland Cavaliers, which the most notoriety they've ever had in history was when LeBron James got them a championship, right? Since then, it's been a dying city. It's been a dying basketball team. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they don't get no I don't know, TV time, airtime, whatever the case may be. Then they move a couple of pieces around. They get Donovan Mitchell. Tough. They get Donovan Mitchell, gang. And Donovan Mitchell, I feel bad for Donovan Mitchell because I feel like wherever he's been at throughout his career, he's produced, gang. He has produced. He just don't got how can I say this? I don't think he got a 1A. I think Donovan Mitchell could definitely be a 1. He's been a 1A though. Donovan Mitchell had definitely produced. He's been the guy, the go-to guy. He's been a 1A. But if he could just slide to the 1B slot and he had a 1A to kind of like take charge of the offense and, you know, make it do what it do, and they could just go back and forth when it comes to putting their team in a great position, he definitely would have been, I don't know, I think he would have been better off. But James Harden was supposed to be that 1A. Seasoned veteran, done a lot in the league, done a lot in his career. Bro, you bring your ass over to the Cleveland Cavaliers and stink up the whole joint. Now, mind you, James Harden, this is what he does. He goes to a new team. He has a few good performances, but when it's time for like, when it matters, shits himself. He never comes through when it matters. That's that old NBA at work. LeBron James realizes there's a new NBA. He took a specific role with the Lakers. He was very successful. It was very beneficial, the role he took. You know what I'm saying? I think all these old guys, even, and as crazy as it sounds, even Kevin Durant over there in Houston, man, something's got to happen with these NBA stars of yesteryear. Something got to happen. So the only reason why I'm talking about the Cavs is because I thought they had the formula to get them boys out of here. They got two bigs, two athletic bigs that, mind you, they play at the same time. Every now and then they play them boys at the same time. They got James Harden, experienced veteran, and then you got Donovan Mitchell. So I'm thinking to myself, the Cavs are going to beat the Knicks in the East. For me, it makes sense. Over there in the West, I'm thinking, oh, the Spurs have been giving the Oklahoma City Thunder problems all fucking season. But for some reason, I go against my better judgment. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm going to bank on the team that's been smacking teams and getting to 100 points by the third quarter. I'm just bank on them, right? I kid you not. Wemby's something different. I see why they call him the alien now. Wemby is something different. Wemby is giving hope to the NBA. That competitive nature, that will to want to win because this shit actually means something to you. And you're not just playing because of the money anymore. You playing for respect. And you playing because I feel like I was slighted. And he even said, I think when they were interviewing him, he was like, yo, I felt like Shea getting that MVP kind of motivated me to get up out here and make it do what it do. But I like seeing that. That like revitalizes the game. When you have that nature, because I'm not gonna lie to you, money can do a lot to people. You know what I'm saying? Money can make you just relax. The one thing you've loved your whole entire life, the one thing you've always been competitive in, once you get a bag for it, it's kind of like, A lot of people take a back seat and just like, I got money now, bro. I'm not gonna be that competitive in this no more. Like, what's the point? I've got money. Wemby's not one of them dudes. Now, I'm not born in the 80s. So when I see these teams, the New York Knicks and the Spurs going at it, for the Spurs, I can't help but to make a comparison of Wemby being like a Tim Duncan 2.0. An unstoppable fucking big. But of course, he's like a unicorn. He's an alien. But Tim Duncan wasn't chopped liver neither. Tim Duncan was something serious too. But it's the Spurs, so I'm thinking like, damn, he like Tim Duncan 3.0. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I go to the Knicks side, I wasn't born in the 80s, gang. But when I look at Jalen Brunson, a tough-ass, light-skinned point guard, the first thing that popped in my mind is John Starks. John Starks, bro. John Starks was tough. From the highlights I watched from New York Knicks basketball back in the day, I think Patrick Ewing was on that John Starks team. And Patrick Ewing missed that finger roll layup to win the game. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, Jalen Brunson. Short. Not short. Jalen Brunson around 6'1", 6'2". He's a average size, light-skinned point guard. John Starks was an average size, light-skinned point guard. John Starks was athletic, too. He used to be dunking that bitch. So when I look at the Knicks, that's what I see. I see a John Starks. And then you got the bigs. You got Cat. Now, a lot of people make a lot of jokes on Cat, but them boys is there. Mikal Bridges, very solid. Mikal Bridges is solid, bro. That shit is crazy. Like, the new, like, what I said in my last live about the new NBA, this is what's going on. There's no long, like, the recipe no longer is you got one superstar and you build around that motherfucker. The recipe is if you got a group of solid hoopers, you're bound to make it far. Now, they'll put franchise tags on people like Shea. I guess he's a franchise, like they put a franchise tag on him and shit like that. But at the end of the day, Shea's definitely a superstar, but he got a team of solid individuals around him. That's why they got so far. And then in that big position, they got a solid big. The Spurs, they got solid De'Aaron Fox. Castle. Bro, when I tell you I did not know about Castle's background, and a video on my YouTube feed popped up showing how Castle was on a winner, like he was a winner on every level, gang. Like Castle, he was a dog in high school. He could have went to he had multiple offers, but he chose to go to UConn. Stephon Castle chose to go to UConn, but when he went to UConn, they said like he wasn't going to be like the go-to man when he arrived there, and he was okay with that. And he worked his way up until they went to like the championship game, and he actually stepped up and played a big role in them winning that championship game. And they said he was like, I think the second one and done in UConn basketball history. Like Castle, he was tough. So we got the Spurs who, you know, had a good stint as a franchise back in the day of being NBA champions. And you got the Knicks. Oh my God. The fucking Knicks. First and foremost, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of happy for the Knicks. Kind of happy for them Bulls. I'm kind of happy for New York. I lived in New York for 6 years. I stayed in Queens, right? When I stayed in New York, they were like molding downtown Brooklyn. You know, the Nets were coming over and it was just, I forgot the name of the arena, but they was building it for the Nets, right? But a lot of people were hard down, like, still, nah, fuck out, it's the Knicks. Now, a lot of people were buying Kevin Durant jerseys when he ended up getting traded there, and a lot of people was glazing in the Nets. I'm not gonna hold you. Plus, it's downtown Brooklyn, so it's like, oh, this is a new thing in town. Brooklyn, we got something. But a lot of folks were still hardcore Knicks fans. And one thing I love about the Knicks is they just like us, the Sixers. Just like Philly fans, like no matter year after year, season after season, if you're a Sixers fan, bro, you got highs, then you got lows. And the only other team in the East that can kind of like compare to what we've been going through is the fucking Knicks. It's the Knicks, bro. So I hated that we had to go against each other because I really wanted to see them win because I know what the pain feel like. You know what I'm saying? Rooting for your team every season and always saying, nah, we got it this year. Because I'm a Sixers fan. That's all I kept saying. Nah, see Joel getting healthy. Oh, we got Paul George. Yeah, this year going to be different. We got it this year. I know the pain that Sixers fans and Knicks fans share, bro. So, with me knowing that, I'm like, I want to see y'all go far. I just didn't want y'all, like, I didn't want y'all to go far at our expense. I ain't wanted that happen to us. You know what I'm saying? I wanted us to at least duke it out in the Eastern Conference Finals. But the fucking Knicks, gang. New York gotta win the NBA. They gotta win the chip, bro. And if you're not from New York and you know the persona of anybody who is from New York, you know they cocky, they arrogant, they talk a lot of shit. But I'm from the East Coast. That's something I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? New York never, like New York, people I know, homies that I got from New York, in their lifetime, they never seen New York win a championship. And they still talk shit about they still talk shit like the Knicks are the best fucking team in NBA history. You know what I'm saying? And in the same breath, they'll be like, fuck them bum ass Knicks. They will call the Knicks bum ass niggas. They will say, fuck them bum ass Knicks. Nigga, them niggas ass. They trash. But they won't let you say it about their team. But now they got an opportunity, gang, to win a chip. And I'm not going to lie to you. Wemby, he a dog. But as a kid, I've seen the Spurs win. I've seen that Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and Tony Parker run. I've seen that. I ain't never seen the Knicks win in my life. I never seen them win in my life. On that Cam and May show, them boys Cam just be over the Knicks. Cam just be like, I'm not going to get riled up because the Knicks, that's what the Knicks do. They get nice and then they let you down at the last second. And Mace is always wearing his Knicks gear when they start doing good. Then when they do bad, Mace got gear on of another team. But it's crazy to me how the 1 year where Cam's like, I don't care. I'm not doing it. And he vocalized that. The 1 year he decided to do that, the Knicks actually pulled it off and made it to the NBA Finals. So yeah, I seen the Spurs win before. I never seen the Knicks win. I really want the Knicks to win, gang. I really want the Knicks to win, gang. Like, and I know all my homies, like, they gonna have something to look forward to in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Knicks, that's crazy. If I see a Knicks championship in my lifetime, that's a monumental feat because I don't think that shit will ever happen again. But yeah, man, let's see Wemby's speech. Man, this nigga Wemby's crazy. I like that though. I like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, niggas is not going for that. Niggas came out to compete. He won it on their floor too.
Upwork puts the world's best freelance talent.
That's crazy.
At our fingertips. We need an AI chatbot for customer service.
Talk to us about going into Game 6. You're down 3-2. What was the mindset internally that changed everything for you guys going into Game 6 when you're down?
You know, we always say we need to punch first. We need to be on the front foot when you attack. But at this point in the series, it goes without saying, you know. So the thing was really taking our time, being more greedy on offense, you know, especially for me. facilitating for each other. I felt like the key was trusting who we were all year, because we beat these guys in the regular season too.
I gotta ask you this.
Damn. He let it be known. We beat these guys in the regular season too. Like this ain't nothing new. Like we already did this. He ain't got no voice. Like you can tell why they got him standing at that little ass table?
Because we all was a little surprised by your energy in Game 5. Talk to us about your effort in Game 5 and how you came out in that game that didn't show, right, what you did in the previous games. Games 1 and Game 4, you were phenomenal. Flat in Game 5. Speak to that.
Oh, I mean, just that, it's hard.
Yes, it is.
It's hard to explain how hard it is, and you just gotta push. There are some things. There's no magic solution. You gotta will your way into it.
I have a question, Wemby. I know you hear all this crowd. 22 years old, first Game 7 on the road.
Bro, I did not know Wemby was only 22. This nigga about to be the face.
Against a back-to-back MVP. You looked at that MVP ceremony a couple weeks ago when Shea received that and said that's my trophy. But to come on his court and win Game 7 on the road. Talk about that. Talk about the mentality. Talk about the mindset that you had to put yourself into.
He seen that man get that MVP and said, nigga, that's my trophy. When you take things personal in whatever you're doing in life, that shit go one or two ways. One, it can derail you for the worse. You can fall by the wayside and you can end up being worse off and then get labeled a hater. Or you actually pick yourself up and go prove why what you're saying is facts. And that man got up and went to go prove why, nigga, that's supposed to be my MVP. So instead, he turned around, fuck the MVP. He went and conquered the Western Conference Final Championship. Nigga.
Mentally, in order to come in here and beat the champs.
This fueled me more than anything else could have. Sometimes, this game is so hard. This team is so good that you got to use every single emotion you got in you in order to win. And sometimes these emotions is passion, is love for the game. Sometimes it's anger. Sometimes it might even be jealousy. But I don't want.
Damn, he keeping it a bean though. He keeping it real. He said, in order to beat this fucking team, because the amount of hate that the OKC Thunder has been getting in the past few weeks, man, they playing dirty, man, they flopping. This might be true. But if you play sports, if you ever played against a team like that, and they still, like, they're getting away with calls, and they're actually pretty fucking good, that shit make you mad than a motherfucker. So mad to where you want to knock one of them niggas out. Real spill. That shit make you want to knock one of them niggas out. And this nigga Wemby just said, bro, when you play against a team like this, they're so damn good that you're using every emotion just to beat these niggas. You using anger. You using jealousy. He said jealousy. A lot of people won't admit that shit, bro. A lot of people won't say, bro, I'm fucking jealous at the fact that they're the face. They look like a unit. And they getting all these calls. That shit pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? Folks will say it does anger me. It does make me competitive. It does make me emotional. But they will never say that jealous part. And he kept it a being. Like, nigga, this team's so good that even jealousy be seeping from my pores just to fucking beat them.
I don't want to use weigh myself down with any of these energies. I use them on the court.
I love that.
Powerful.
Coming into game 7, we know what we said we wanted to see from you. What was your plan of attack for tonight for your team?
Trusting who we were, trusting each other on both sides of the floor, playing harder than ever. If there's one day in your life for our young career right now where you got to do more than you used to, it was today. It was today. And
I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I done been there. Not like NBA Finals on the stage or nothing like that. That big, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. I done played against teams where when you know you about to play this team gang, it's like, oh God, bro, I gotta get mentally locked in. I gotta do my routine, my regiment, just to play against this team. There's been teams in my life that I had to mentally prepare, like how he talking. And every time I played them teams, bro, one minor slip up, a minor error, a minor turnover can be the reason why my team or that team gets the W in the game. And in them games, bro, I done gave it everything I got. And I would always tell my teammates, listen, y'all, in the timeout huddle, I always tell them, listen, y'all, if you feel like you giving it your all right now, give a little bit more. If you giving 100, give 110%, just a little bit more. We're going to close this game out and get these boys out of here. And the one thing that always made me like, one specific thing that popped up for me when I went against teams like that is the respect factor. In the beginning, when you first meet a team that's tough, you never know, like you got a scouting report, but you never know how tough a team is going to be in the beginning. But if you know how tough your team is, you go, nigga, we could dance with anybody. We could tango with anybody. So you got like this type of, I don't want to say heightened ego, but you got a feeling about yourself in the team. You feel like my team is good wherever we go because we practice hard, we play hard, we train, like we do everything tough. So you walk into, whether it's your home court or you go into their home court, you walk in there with a specific swagger and confidence about yourself, right? Because in your mind, you feel like you can beat anybody. You trust your team. So the first time you meet a team that's tough, you don't go into that game thinking, I might have to respect these motherfuckers. You go into that game thinking, why the fuck are they actually hanging in a game with us? And it doesn't dawn on you that, nah, this team, they train hard, they practice hard too. This team actually trains hard, practice hard. They go to each other house. They have family team dinners. They do all that shit too. All the shit that you doing, they do the same thing. So in the middle of the game, you go, whoa, I think like this team's kind of fucking good. I don't think we about to beat this team like 20 like we doing all these other teams. I think we're going to have to dig deep and fight against the team. Now, that's the first time y'all meet each other. Now, whatever happens, they end up winning, you end up winning. I bet whoever ends up winning that first game, y'all probably win by like 5, 6 points, single digits for sure. No matter who is the victor of that first time of you meeting that tough ass team, you leave that game saying, I don't think that's a team we can play with. And I don't mean like play with, but you leave saying, I don't think that's a team we should take lightly. Because that team just gave us 30 to 40 something minutes of hell just now. They are not to be played with. So the second time you play that team, you start mentally preparing yourself. You start thinking, I remember the first time we played them. They were tough than the motherfucker, and I don't expect nothing less. So now you coming in with different emotions. You want to beat this team so bad because you already know how tough this team is. So mid-game, everything counts now. You're hyper-focused on everything. If your teammate get a stupid turnover, it pisses you off 10 times more than if you never played that team and you didn't know how they was coming. Now it's pissing you off way, way more because you know what this team is capable of. If they get a stupid turnover, you celebrate a little harder than you would any other team because you know that turnover on that side can be the reason why you get the victory. That could be the reason why you get the victory. Minor slip-ups. So when Wemby talking about, yeah, with a team like this, you got to give everything. Because they that damn good, I know exactly what he's talking about. If you feel like you're giving 100 in a game, give 110%. Because that 100 that you're giving, it might, it can go either way. You might win by 2 points by you giving 100. If you give 110%, you fuck around, win by 7 against a very, very well-coached and skilled team. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I wasn't tuned into none of it, because I really thought OKC was going to pull away with it, so I don't like to overstimulate myself and be watching games that I feel like I know the victor of, but when the group chat texted and was like, dog, the Spurs just packed them the fuck up. I said, what? In Oklahoma they did that? It was like, yeah, nigga. I didn't see Shai's post-game interview, none of that, but we're going to get into that, bro, because I want to see, what he had to say.
You guys had some opportunities to kind of take control of this one. What did you see as kind of the differences in not being able to kind of get over the hump and wrestle control completely away?
Yeah, they were just the better team tonight from start to finish. And then every time we tried to cut into it and take control of the game, it felt like they had an answer. And a lot of times it felt like it was tough shot making. So hats off to them. Yeah, they played better tonight and they deserve to win again.
Damn. Listen, I say this about Shai. Them boys young. The Oklahoma City Thunder team, they're a young ass team. But even though they got a lot of antics and they do a lot of things on that side, Shai low-key a mature ass basketball player. He's a mature NBA player again. I can't even front. He used to do this corny shit, put all these quotes on his Instagram photos or some shit like that. I ain't got Instagram, but I'd be going through my YouTube shorts and then there'll be videos of him putting all these quotes up. I'm like, bro, stop doing that corny ass shit. But aside from all that, the extra little shit they be doing, he's a very mature, from what I've seen thus far, he's a very mature competitor.
So it's pretty well documented how difficult it is both for the teams to try and the teams who've done it, just how difficult it is to repeat. Are there points in these playoffs and especially in this series where you felt that, just how tough it is to repeat?
Yeah, winning an NBA championship is very hard in itself to do it one time. So to do it all over again would just only make it harder. So many things go into it. Sometimes it's things you can't control. Sometimes it's things you can control. It's a hard task to do one time. So to do it twice would only make it even more challenging.
That's what a lot of folks don't get. That back-to-back shit, bro, that ain't something light, gang. That is not something light. When they crewed, when they went and won it the first time, I think midway through the season, they actually realized, hey, I think we found our groove. I think they were like, bro, I think we found our stride, and I think we got a good shot this year. You know what I'm saying? Because during that season, Anthony Edwards was, let's not forget about him. Anthony Edwards was making a lot of fucking noise in Minnesota, gang. And then you had the Indiana Pacers, Halliburton, they had a run. It was a lot of noise being made, but I think for OKC, when they went and won that chip the first time, midway through the season, they were like, I think we're going to be a team to beat. And once they made it click, that's when it started unfolding like, oh, y'all can actually make a run to the NBA championship. Now, here's the difference. When you actually win it and you got that target on your back, and folks is like, can they do it again? A lot of things go into that, bro. The whole year, you see them smacking folks. You see by the third quarter, they beating the shit out of people, and sometimes Shea don't even gotta play the fourth quarter. There's games that Shea sat out. He sat out multiple games, gang, and they still putting belt to ass. The Oklahoma City Thunder is a great, bro. They did great. I'll say that much. And then McCain. They ended up adding him, and he's hooping, right? So to do it all over again, that type of pressure, getting the first one is pressure, because you don't want to be that close and thinking to yourself, if I lose while I'm being this close, what will this do to the franchise? And you know who that happened to? The Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton was this close, gang. The Pacers were this close. He went down. What I think an Achilles injury or something like that. He went down for the count. And the Indiana Pacers have not recovered since. So when you don't go down for the count, you actually win you a chip. The toughest task after that is actually winning it again. So, I don't know. It's a young group over there. Them boys is in the league, so I think they take all this shit personal, especially losing on your home floor when you're like the returning NBA champs. I'm pretty sure it hits home, but I think Shea's really good at being a professional.
Shea, this deal with the Spurs obviously really emerged as a rivalry this year. When you look at that team and the young pieces that they have, what do you see in terms of a potential roadblock for you guys?
Yeah, they're young, they're talented, well coached, play the right way, play together. Seems like they like each other. They have the makeup for sure. You don't beat us without the makeup, and they beat us, so they have the makeup to go get one. And yeah, we just have to take it one day at a time from here.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The way he just described the Spurs, it sounds like he's describing the OKC Thunder. It sounds like he's describing his home team. He said they're young, they're coachable, well-skilled, and they look like they like each other. That's the new NBA. I keep saying this new NBA shit and nobody's listening. Or at least nobody in my circle's listening. I keep screaming, bro, it's the new NBA. That big three shit or having a mega superstar on your team and building around him shit, that shit is done. The new NBA is being a well-coached team, having a bunch of young guys who play together and who actually like each other. That's the formula for success. And in the midst of all that, okay, you got a standout player for sure. For the Spurs, the standout player is Wemby for sure. For the Thunder, the face is Shea for sure. But it wasn't built like that. What happened was these guys were brought into their franchise and they were able to let them grow through the process. Shea was with the Clippers first. Shea's been in the league for a minute, gang. but they let him grow and learn through the process. Then when he ended up coming to the Oklahoma City Thunder, he still was growing. And while he was growing, pieces were being put around and morale was being built. That's the new NBA. Get you a group of young guys that gel well, who are well coached. And, they might have a main guy down the road. But if they don't have a main guy, I still think it's a recipe for success. So,
Round out, try to get better this summer, and be a better team than we were this season and last season. And, try to get back over the hump.
Dan, go ahead.
Shea, from a distance, it's always seemed like you guys have really focused internally when it comes to growth throughout this process. To Tim's point, how much of the reflection this summer will be about getting better than San Antonio specifically?
God. What you mean getting better than San Antonio specifically? What are these questions, bro? He just lost to them.
I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think in the summertime, like you try to get better, and then you use the 82 games to figure out the bar and what needs to be done.
That's a solid fucking response. That's a solid response, bro. I respect Ka.
Especially in the NBA, so many things happen in the summertime, like trades, free agency.
I respect Ka. That's true. Like the reporter asked Ka, so what do you think you guys are gonna have to do in order to be better than the Spurs? Nigga, how can I answer that right now? We just lost to them. When we come back next year, they might not have the same team, and we might not have the same team. Trades might happen. That's like a well thought out answer on the spot, though. Cause professional, gang.
New additions and like the NBA this year looks completely different than it did the year we won. So like it'd be hard to kind of like pinpoint. You kind of like use the 82 game season to figure out what the standard is and how to go get one. But they'll probably be somewhere in that mix for sure next season as well.
Joe, go ahead.
Shea, given the guys you were missing, it seemed like coming into this game, you'd have to have a big night for you guys to have a chance, and you certainly did that. Do you take any solace with just how you played tonight, kind of leaving it all out there in this Game 7?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really have a choice. Big game, big moment, win or go home. Just wanted to leave everything out there, whether the shots went in or didn't. I wanted to make sure that I gave it my all, and I was who I was today. Yeah.
We'll go Jenny and then Justin.
Shea, to kind of follow up on that, you're playing without a couple guys that were pretty big contributors for you guys all year. To see the guys you had out there playing like they were, competing like they were, I know you guys have talked repeatedly about the competitive nature of this bunch, but what was that like to just see that happening in real time tonight?
Yeah, I'm so impressed by this group. Yeah, like, not to make any excuses, but like they're a really good team over there. And losing AJ and Dub the way we did in the midst of a series, you would think like it would be a lot harder for us. But those guys like never got discouraged. They played their butts off, and the reason why we got to this point in the series is because of them. The supporting cast was amazing this series. Hats off to them. They were big time. I wish I was a little bit more myself throughout the series.
Man, listen. That's tough. So now we got the Spurs versus the Knicks, man. I would have never thought. When the NBA season started up, I would have never thought the Spurs versus the Knicks would have been a thing. You know, I'm a Bron fan, so not a Lakers fan, a Bron fan. So, you know, the Lakers making a push because y'all know Bron, he got a couple years left. So I felt like the Lakers making a push this year. They got Doncic. You know, I think that would have made a little more sense than the Spurs. But like Shea was saying in the press conference, things happen. Things happen throughout, the season. Teams start changing. Dynamics start changing. And then teams that you never thought would have been able to make a run are actually starting to make a run. Like this year, I really thought like the Timberwolves. I really thought this was, Ant's year. And Ant came up big in a lot of games, but it's back to the drawing board with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Spurs versus the Knicks, all I gotta say is two teams, very tough. But one team got a fucking alien. As much as I want the Knicks to win, because I'm an East Coast guy, from Philly, lived in Queens for 6 years, I want New York to win. Because I feel like, I got to see them win one in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? That would be, like, bro, like, not on no conspiracy theory shit, but that's how I feel like, well, if the world's going to end, because there's a lot of stuff going on out here. If the world's going to end, why not end with the New York Knicks winning the NBA championship? Fuck it. Let's give them something before, the world get up out of here. But, yeah. I really want the Knicks to win. We got the Knicks versus Spurs in the finals. And I'm actually going to go out of my way to start watching live when these games come on. So, Lord knows my nerves be bad. Watching games be close and all that, my nerves be bad. So, I definitely want the Knicks to win. I definitely want them to get their chip. I want my extended family out in Queens, my homies from Brooklyn, Harlem, you know what I'm saying, the Bronx, everybody. I want everybody in New York to be able to like celebrate them getting a chip. It's just one main factor on that other side. Aside from them being a well-coached, well-skilled team and all that, they got a fucking alien gang. So New York, lace up, be ready to duke it out with them boys out west, and you know what I'm saying, bring it back to the East Coast, man. I sure wish it was my Sixers, though.